This black kid, though, walked out when I pulled up to a circle dog. He'll do that routine, and he'll stare at me and Jake. He follows Jake around the library. He followed me around the library, too. He's got a younger brother or two. That day, the assistant branch manager came over and said that to me. It was also the last day I worked as a substitute teacher. And that black boy's mother walked up to me and said, aren't you a substitute teacher in Caddo? Now, last year, I think I talked to her in the library about half an hour one day. She was having difficulty with housing, was trying to get a place. She had been, her son. Oh, God. Her son. Gizmo! Stop it! Come here, Gizmo. Look. Eat a potato chip. Be happy. Her son had been arrested for assault and battery on a school teacher at Broadmoor Middle Lab. And she's sitting there telling me that her son had become suicidal. Okay. Well, this is the little blonde librarian right there. She's the one, all these brats that I'm talking about, they go up and hang around all around her. And she's the one that told me no, they weren't doing anything that they'd just done right in front of her. And he never said that, and every excuse, turning a blind eye and acting like she didn't see it. And they're sitting there laughing in my face while they're doing it, these kids. A black boy that walked out there was arrested for assault and battery on a teacher. And brought him in a lab. The teacher went to court and she ended up dropping the charges. Her mother was upset about it one day, and I just asked her about it. We were both sitting at the same computer table, and here's my lunch Pringles. She told me that the teacher had lied. And her son had been bullied so much that he had become suicidal at school. Her son was a good boy. He never did anything to bother anybody. He was just being bullied at school, and the school wouldn't do anything about it. And that everything that was being done to him, all the referrals he was getting and stuff, was all retaliation by the school staff. Because she'd gone down to the school board trying to do something about the kids bullying her son. And I believed her. Because I've worked at that school, and yeah, they have terrible problems with bullies there. Those kids there are off the chain. And unbelievable behavior problems there. I mean, it's just like gang warfare is what it's like. He's a teenager. I don't know if he's an 8th grader or 9th grader. He's a child. I don't care what his intentions are. It looked to me like he was trying to force me to have contact with him. And I was trying to say that he's supervising me and Jake, which isn't true. I've never spoken to that kid. That day, his mother walked up to me. She said she was sorry if her son had bothered me. I was like, do I know your son? Who's your son? She said, aren't you substituting title? I went, yes, ma'am. And then I said, who is your son? And she called him over. He was around the corner in reference, and it was him. You know, she just worried me how innocent her little son was. If anything had happened, she was sorry. You know, she didn't give me her number, though, and tell me to call her in case something did happen. I walked out of the library one day. He was standing over here with his little friends with a cell phone. So Jake and I walked down to put a phone up to his ear. Started walking towards his vehicle and walked right next to me and Jake. His mother was sitting in the back corner of the library parking lot. With a cell phone camera pointing straight at me and Jake and her phone. His little friends have done the same thing, popping out of the bathroom as soon as Jake and I walk. What they'll do is stand in the foyer. They see me and Jake coming to leave through the foyer to walk outside. And the little girl, white girl with the glasses, it's brunette. That's his friend. She'd say me and Jake coming, put a phone up to her and run into the bathroom and walk out again. Other things, you know, that have happened here. I've walked out of the library. These kids will pop up from behind the vending machines. That wall there, where the vending machines are, follow me outside. And one girl did that, little black girl did it one night. Put a cell phone up behind her ear, walked up behind me, stopped at that pillar there, right with beneath that surveillance camera. And it's falsified audio is what it is. Didn't say a word to me. I didn't talk to her. Didn't say nothing to her. There were a couple of boys playing, running back and forth in and out of the foyer. Security guard had fussed at them, told them that she thought they were smoking on another day. Anyway, the black girl walked up after she stood behind that pillar with a phone. And she just walked sort of right there and just stood there holding the phone. She put out a joint and lit it up. She had a white t-shirt and jeans. I don't think she had a bra on. She went over to the bike rack, started posing her body like she was a fucking supermodel trying to get into Victoria's Secret. Sticking her ass out. You know, trying to do, like, putting her hands up on her hips and stuff like that. She stood there smoking a joint. That's what it is. They're trying to say that I'm a drug trafficker and that I've been selling dope to these kids and I routinely have contact with them. It was a circulation librarian. One day, they said something to me about she'd seen me giving kids rides home from the library. No, I've never given a child a ride home from the library, except for my son. And I do not ever have contact with other people's kids. I have worked in education for 11 years. Okay, I have seen the discipline problems and what happens when you have to deal with parents. I've had to go into principal's offices and deal with them. I don't care if they are setting a building on fire. I am not going to say anything to them. Oh, Kyle, the security guard, just walked out from the bathroom into the middle of the foyer and looked out the double doors at me and turned around and walked back in. I'm still